Hello, my name's Peter with Standard Heating. I'm a maintenance specialist here. Today we're going to be going over how to change your electronic air cleaner in your HVAC system. The first thing you're going to want to do when you're getting ready to change the electronic air cleaner is you're going to want to locate your power to the furnace, and we're going to want to shut that off when we're changing out the filter. If you can't find the power switch, you will want to find your breaker and turn off the respective breaker to turn off power. So we're just going to go ahead and flip this off. It's just like a standard light switch, so we're just going to flip that down here. If the fan or anything's running, you should notice that turn off. That's completely normal. We'll make sure we turn that back on at the end here. You will notice that your thermostat's going to go dark. If you walk by it and it's dark, that's completely normal. So now once we have the power off to the furnace, we're going to come down. This is our show display, so we do have another filter on here. Your furnace isn't going to look like this. You'll just have a slot here if you have the electronic air cleaner. And what you're going to want to do, this has a handy dandy handle here, and we're going to go ahead and pull that out. I like to pull it out just a few inches here, and if you notice up here, like I said, this is our shop display here. Normally there's going to be a power cord plugged into here that looks like an aux jack or an audio jack. And once we have the power off, we're going to go ahead and pull that out. And then we are all safe and clear to pull the full filter out. One of the most common questions I get with these electronic air cleaners is how often should I be changing them? Typically, on the average, what I'm seeing when I go into houses is that the filter needs to be changed about every 3 to 4 months. That is going to be what most of these manufacturers, we go with Pristine Air. That's what they're going to recommend, is every 3 to 4 months, depending on the level of cleanliness of the filter. Once you have the electronic air cleaner out of your furnace, find it easiest to have a platform, a table of sorts to place it down on. There's going to be these two little levers right here. You're going to push those down and it'll pop up. You do that to the other side. And then you're going to take this top part and it's going to hinge up. So we're going to go ahead and hinge that up here. We can take the old filter media here and discard that. I can just get thrown away in the trash. And then we're going to take a new one and put it back in here. But before we do that, I always like to take, you can take a painter's brush. I like to take the filter cage outside and just take a brush and brush all the, pet dander, hair, dust that gets on here. It's an electronic air cleaner, so we don't want to use water, so just a brush will be fine. Then once we get that all clean, you'll notice we're going to have the power head right here. This is what's going to bring the voltage to the filter media and energize it so that we can catch everything. And then if we look at the replacement filter media here, we're going to have this blue pad here. That's what we want the power head to be touching right here. All we're going to do is we're just going to line it up in here. We got the power head there. We're going to go ahead. We got a nice good connection on there. And then we just hinge this down and do what we did in reverse. So we're going to shut the first one. It can be a little bit of a pain sometimes. We'll shut that one and then we're good to go back to our system and put the filter back in. We just got the filter changed out inside of the electronic air cleaner. And now the most important step so that you can stay warm or cool depending on the season is we want to flip the switch back on. We're just going to flip the switch back on. Typically there is a delay of a few minutes for it to recalibrate and turn back on. So just let it do its thing and you should notice in a few minutes everything will be back working just fine. It might take a few minutes, might be right away, depends on the system, but you will hear some noise. That's completely normal. Everything's going to turn back on. Away you go.